What's going on, guys? This is Chris from Fight Frequency, and in this video I'm going to talk a little more in depth about anxiety and what that means to me. So there's that saying that's pretty cliche, okay? If you're depressed, you're thinking about the past, and if you're anxious, you're thinking about the future. And when you're present, that's when you are centered in yourself. You're in the present moment. Now, with that being said, there's certain things in your life that are going to present a form of anxiousness. Now, with this being said, to me, it's having enough self-awareness to understand where that anxiousness is stemming from. Because if it's anxiousness coming from a place of, oh my goodness, like I'm going out and I'm doing something that I never thought I could do, it's very uncomfortable for me, but I'm striving for something that is going to make me better, then I think you need to do that. I think you need to do that thing that's going to make you better. And the reason why is because in the process, you're literally going to make everybody around you better. Okay. So, for a while, I had a really difficult time speaking and using my voice in a fluent manner where it's more of like a flow thing for me. Like all of this stuff isn't written out. I'm just talking right now to you. Like nothing is behind this cell phone that I could see. It's all just right here. Now, the reason why I'm able to do that is because I'm relaxed, and it has taken me a while to find that relaxed state to even talk. Every single time that I used to get out in front of people and talk, I'd feel like there was like a restriction on my throat, and it was there for a really, really long time. And even now when I'm talking in these videos, you'll hear me slip up and stumble over my words sometimes, but it's become more automatic for me to catch it and move on from there. Now, again, with anxiety, it's most likely coming from something in the future that you're thinking about. And again, it's for me looking at where's the fear coming from? Is it from me just being anxious to make myself anxious because I'm addicted to that place? And I'll give you an example, like smokers. I find that like I used to work at a restaurant for a few years, and people used to like chain smoke throughout the day. And those are people to me who are literally making themselves anxious, because in the future, if they didn't have those cigarettes, they're going to be all wiry, the smoker hands, and they're going to think about how can I get my next smoke? How can I get some more cigarettes so I can just like relax a little bit? And to me, that's making yourself worse. There's a difference. There's a different anxiousness that's setting in. Okay, the more like toxic side of it, where it's like you probably shouldn't be doing that because it's literally just making you a worse person to be around. You're bringing down the community as a whole. You're not making anybody better, including yourself. And then there's the anxiousness where it's like, oh man, I got to go to practice today. I got to go train today. I don't know if I could do it, and I might fail or whatever. That anxiousness to me is positive. That's a positive thing because that's something that you could work through. And once you work through that, you will literally be so much better because of that. In my opinion, there might be examples where you might not be better. But if you go and you push through that fear, that blockage, whatever you want to call it, you're going to be so much better off because of it. It's identifying the fear, and it's going through it as best as you possibly can. And at the end of the day, what I like to think about is you could go to a counselor, you could go to a doctor, you could go to your coach, but no one will ever be able to manage your anxiety the way that you can. You are literally your doctor, your therapist. You should be able to identify what makes you get triggered, what makes you snap, and how to deal with it, and also how to move through it. Because if it hits and it makes you crumble, you will never be able to take a step forward. So every time it hits and you just drop like a sack of potatoes and you don't work through it, that's setting yourself up for failure. every single time that comes. So just taking it head on, and even taking it as more of a baby step thing is better than not doing anything, than just sitting on your bed, on your couch, being depressed or whatever. So there's so many different ways to manage anxiety or to manage fear and to move through that. But it's very important for you to understand how you move through it and how you navigate through it. I think there's basic fundamental laws that as humans we have to abide by in order to navigate it like a four-wheel drive truck through the snow, or like a blizzard or a storm, right? And that's eating good food, that's getting good rest, that's moving your body, that's sweating, that's getting good blood flow daily, which all correlates with breath work and moving your body, exercising, surrounding yourself with a good community. Like, there's just basic things that need to take place for you to thoroughly move through it in a more free state. Because who knows, you might be doing something that's making it more difficult. Like, instead of you moving through it, like, you're kind of like trudging along because you might not be eating the best foods, you might not be taking in the best information, whether it's consuming too much social media, being on Netflix, whatever it is, not moving enough, not drinking enough water, not getting adequate rest. So a few things to take into consideration, a few things that have helped me, and just some of my thoughts on the topic of anxiety. But the main thing is, the final conclusion is just moving through it the best way that you can, especially if it's going to help you and help others in the process. Done.